Welcome back to another episode of Inside Richmond, the City's Pulse. I'm Lindsay Darnell, your host. Today we have Mayor Oler joining us again, and we are going to be talking about the differences between a branding initiative that the city is undergoing and the comprehensive plan. And then towards the end, we're going to talk a little bit about the State of the City address that is going to be happening on Friday, March 14th at 12 p.m. noon. You can join in on Facebook Live or watch it on WCTV's YouTube channel. Mayor, thank you for joining me.
Okay, glad to be here today. Thank you for inviting me back.
Yes, so the reason I invited you back is I think there's a lot of misconception on the branding and the comprehensive plan. So I just wanted to ask you some questions, get some clarification out there. Can you tell me a little bit about what a comprehensive plan is?
So comprehensive plan, that's Richmond's roadmap for growth. It goes over zoning, infrastructure, economic development, public safety, sustainability over the next 5 years. Our current comprehensive plan is just past the 5-year mark, Richmond Rising. So it's time to refresh that and look at what we did or did not do during COVID especially, and what we want to do going forward for the next 5 years. So some of the things that are in there, like infrastructure and housing. So the comprehensive plan talks about we want to establish new housing within the city limits because it's less expensive to add utilities to a housing development in the city limits than outside the city limits, those kind of things.
Well, you mentioned Richmond Rising comprehensive plan, and so I wanted to clarify on that part. Richmond Rising was the comprehensive plan for 2019. That was their logo. It wasn't actually a brand. It was used for the comprehensive plan, correct?
Correct. It's not a brand. So cities, if you want to talk about branding, as far as we can tell, the city's never had a comprehensive brand or a holistic brand or a citywide brand that identifies or unites the city's identity. If you drive by City Hall, you'll see that big logo on the end of the building, and that came with the building in 1969, and we still have that on our letterhead today. We're not going to get rid of that logo for purposes of swearing in ceremonies behind the flags and stuff and on City Hall, but it was never really a brand. Richmond Rising, like you said, was the name of a comprehensive plan. Every comprehensive plan has a name. It wasn't really a brand, a complete unified brand. We haven't been to Rose City for a very long time. And the other thing, if you're inside City Hall in a rotunda and you see the flags, the city flag reads, Gateway to Indiana. Mm-hmm. That's not a good brand either. So the whole idea of branding is to, what are our values? What are our aspirations? What makes our city unique? And this is, having that brand allows us to effectively communicate it, not just to current residents, but businesses, current and businesses who are considering locating here, and visitors. So tourism will use it too. So this is the city of Richmond. These are our values. This is what we aspire to be. This is our brand. So with the new Revive I-70, there'll be a chance for signage along I-70. So none of the things we have now would really draw people into the city off the interstate. You say Rose City, then they're going to come and look. We still have the Rose Garden, which is beautiful, don't get me wrong, and we have that good history of the roses, but that's not our current situation. We're more pet food, plastics when you think of manufacturing, but we're also an open, welcoming city. We have a long history of being open and welcoming to diverse populations.
So the branding can also be used as a marketing tool to attract new businesses, attract new residents. I know that's one of our goals, is to increase the population. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that can happen if the population increases. It brings in more revenue. We'll be able to get more projects done.
Provide more services, mm-hmm. better maintain the parks. I was looking at my Pell pen because when I go to meetings around the state, I can wear the city logo pin, I can wear anything, but if I wear that big red R, they know I'm from Richmond, I'm the mayor of Richmond, even though that's Richmond Community Schools. So they recognize that brand. So that's the power of a brand. The power of brand, you see that big red R anywhere in the state, you know it's from Richmond, mm-hmm. either from the schools or the city. So I'm not saying we're going to end up with a big red R because that's kind of already taken, but we're going to end up with something that's that clear, plain, and precise and succinct. And there's still more time for the perception survey, the first part. Is that through, when is that close?
March 7th, Friday, March 7th is when the perception survey closes. But then following that, we'll have another survey that will come out.
Sure. I think we talked about the perception. We walked through it last time, so it's important to get that done. because that'll help with branding. Again, I know what I value, and citizens know what they value, and businesses know what they value. So let's get all these things together and come up with an identity that aligns with our values and aspirations. What do we want the downtown to look like? What do we want the parks to look like? What do we want the whole city to look like? Who do we want to be known as? Dayton, Ohio, the birthplace of aviation. You say that and boom, oh yeah, the Wright brothers live there. That kind of thing. Indianapolis, oh, there's a big race that happens there. That race is like one day. It takes 23 days to get to it, and it's a huge event for Indianapolis. But you see Indianapolis, I used to travel the world, and I would say it's from Richmond, Indiana, and they say, where is that? And I said about an hour from Indianapolis. You say, oh, Indy 500. And I'm like, yeah, it's one race on a Sunday in May, and everybody around the world knows what it is.
And that's why it's really important that we get that identity for us as well, so people know who we are.
A concrete brand that everybody recognizes and appreciates and supports. Yes. So we need your support, Richmond. Thank you.
And then comprehensive plan. So I want to talk about, why is a comprehensive plan important? Really dive deep into it. I know with the comprehensive plan, it has to be updated every 5 years for a municipality in order to be eligible for some federal grants, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So it guides your land use, your transportation improvements, housing initiatives, economic development, infrastructure upgrade. It's like the city's master plan. This is where we are now, and this is where we want to be in 5 years. So going through the comprehensive plan refresh, we're going through a process where we're looking at what we had in Richmond Rising and what we accomplished and didn't accomplish. And some of the things we didn't accomplish were probably related to COVID, and people's shopping habits and their whole behavior habits have changed. So going forward the next 5 years, knowing how everything's changed, our comprehensive plan should be tweaked and change a little bit. Some of the things about transportation, there aren't as many cars on the streets as there used to be because you're getting so much stuff shipped to home. There's more box trucks on the streets than ever in neighborhoods, but fewer people. So many people are remote working, they don't even leave their homes. And now with food delivery, grocery delivery, lunch delivery, everything can be delivered to your home. I wonder sometimes how many people don't leave their homes, but maybe once a week, even then. So I'm thinking of everything you can have delivered to your homes nowadays. Unless you might have, if you have a single family home, you might need a lawn service. Otherwise, you got to go get your lawnmower service and get some gasoline.
Right. Right.
Everything else could be delivered.
And then also, like I was saying, is for us to qualify for federal grants, we need to have a refresh or a new comprehensive plan. Now, this comprehensive plan, we're not fully going completely over. We're just refreshing the current one.
Correct.
I'm
conservative. I want to spend the least amount of money as possible and get the best result possible. And we know that if you refresh your plan every 5 years, it costs a lot less than starting from scratch in 15 years from now. Because every 5 years, enough changes, you need to refresh it. But if you wait 15 years, the whole thing, you got to throw it out and start over. And that's crazy expensive, and it takes twice as long.
So I want to say maybe about 2 months ago, I came out with a Shaping the Future survey. It was just ranking current projects, or it was actually projects in the previous comprehensive plan. Yes. We wanted the community to rank them most important to them. And so we did get a lot of feedback from that. I was very happy with the responses and the feedback we did get. So that'll kind of help drive us towards, is these projects something we still need to visit in the comprehensive plan refresh, or do we need to just scratch it all together? Our comprehensive plan kickoff, I believe they are wanting to do that here in the next few weeks. Okay. So then once we have that kickoff meeting and know a little bit more of the steps that they're going to take, we'll be coming out with another survey just for the comprehensive plan, not for the branding. Right.
And I don't want people to get tired of doing all these surveys, but these are hugely important. It's the best way for you to communicate to us. And once these are in place, so next year, our comprehensive plan will be done, our branding will be done. We're going to come out with surveys again next year. My administration wants to survey citizens, businesses every year to get their input and their opinion on certain things. And we're going to mark and see how things change over time.
And the
perceptions change and opinions change, and we need the pulse of the city once a year.
Yes. And the surveys aren't going to be very long. We'll keep them short. I do know the perception survey for the branding, it said that it could take 10 minutes. I don't think it took me 5 minutes to complete.
Well, that's not really fair because you helped write it. No, Just for the audience out there, that was a little bit of my humor. Yes. If you're seeing it for the first time, it would take 10 minutes, but you and I saw it a couple iterations before it was released. So yeah, it really wasn't much time-wise, but it was really important because the questions are hugely important, and every survey for that's going to build on each other. So every time you complete it, we want you to do the next survey, keep it rolling, so we keep building on it.
Yes.
So rather than asking you to come out for 2 days and sit in a workshop for 2 days, several surveys and one eventual workshop or communications event will cover it.
And then talking about the branding, a lot of people, I know you had already said this, it's not just a logo. It will help the city of Richmond be more cohesive. Our logos will be similar. Our tagline will all be the same.
Between all the departments, yes. And across the city,
our
yes.
letterhead will change and it'll all be cohesive. So everything's going to mesh together and we're going to look like we are all one big part. We're not just, we're this department, we're that department. It's going to bring us together and we're going to be unified.
One cohesive city, yes. Yep.
So this is going to be, let me think real quick. I think we'll be completing the, not comprehensive plan, the branding in August. That's when we'll kind of have it wrapped up and we'll start implementing is in August of this year, correct?
Yes. And the great thing about having the branding complete halfway through the comprehensive plan. So this brand will be inside that comprehensive plan. So that comprehensive plan would up with a new brand too.
And that'll help mesh
and it'll
that
be the city's brand.
too.
Everything's going to tie together. There's a reason we're doing things in a certain order, in a certain way. So everything's going to be cohesive and tied together. So by the end of the year, next year, and all the stuff we're doing, Revitalize Downtown, is really kicking off soon. You look at the old Elder Berman site, and it's bare dirt, ready for construction. That's going to start in a few weeks. So, city's having a rebirth here. This is great.
It is, and we're really pushing forward towards our future. So next, I want to talk about is our State of the City address that you are going to be giving on Friday, March 14th at 12 p.m. noon.
Yeah, WCTV is going to broadcast it live, and I think you're going to put it on our Facebook Live too, so everybody can watch it live or watch it later at your convenience. And we'll still be recorded, so you can watch your convenience. So if you've seen me speak at different groups around the city in the last 6 months, it's going to be a lot of that stuff, but more in just one cohesive, comprehensive speech, State of the City address. So similar to a State of the Union address, but February, March is when you typically do these things, so it's time. I've been here a year, so it's time to give a State of the City. I did some stuff last year, but we didn't have a whole year under our belt, so to speak. So now that we do, we'll keep this rolling forward.
Yeah, so you're going to talk about current projects, things that we've accomplished in 2024, things that we're going to be looking forward to in the future.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, just like if you watched a State of the State address or a State of the Union address, it's going to be a lot like that.
So make sure that you guys tune into Facebook Live or watch WCTV's YouTube channel live for the State of the City address. Is there any other information that you want to get out to clarify anything between the branding, the comprehensive plan, or even the State of the City?
I will bring this up. The springtime is cutting, so the city is hiring temporary help. So check out richmondindiana.gov and scroll over there, job opportunities, and see what jobs are being posted. We're posting jobs, it seems like every day now, but at least every week. Jobs are being posted because we're ramping up for construction season, park season, street season. A lot of stuff's happening.
Yes. Come and apply and join our team. Mayor, I want to thank you for joining me today. I want to thank every one of our listeners. This is Inside Richmond, the city's pulse. Until next time.